Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. My voice is improving now. My allergies have reduced a bit. Hopefully by afternoon today I should be fine. But still, I thought I could just come in and do this video because it's reasonably okay. My sore throat has also healed a lot. As you can see here, we had snowfall early this morning. The last of warm season is over, and now we have to hunker down for the next 4 months as we wait for spring. On the positive side, all the TV series and late night shows are back to keep us entertained. Real Canadians enjoy winter as much as summer. They play ice hockey, they skate and camp in the snow. Some even try to build skating rinks in their backyard. It's absolutely amazing. So if you want to live in Canada and really enjoy your life, you have to be an outdoorsy person. In the summers, you can go camping and do a lot of barbecue in your backyard. Go cross country hiking and all those things. And then when it comes to winter, you could have cross country skiing or skiing on the slopes or ice hockey. There's plenty. And even on YouTube, you'll find a lot of people winter camping. It's very, very interesting. So anyway, I hope you all had a great weekend so far as we look to starting this new week. The video is about weekly technical analysis of indices and stocks. So let's get started. Welcome back. All indices have dropped to finish the last week. Basically, players are aware that Fed can't halt rate hikes until inflation gets close to their target, and we are still ways far away from that. So that means smaller rate hikes for longer as fears of recession loom. Talking about recessions, we have muddled the definition of recession by ditching the original definition, which said that 2 consecutive negative GDP quarters means you are into a recession. So we have ditched that definition. So at this point of time, some people say that we are likely to get into a recession. Others are saying we are already in a recession. So what is the next shiny object that investors can worry about? That's what I think is happening in the market. Well, we have the next consumer price index, which is due out on Tuesday, and in which we are expected to see whether inflation has receded or not. The Federal Reserve will have primed the market so far to expect a 50 basis point hike at the end of its December meeting on Wednesday. Though the increase would be lesser than the previous hikes, it highlights the fear that the central bank may be concerned about making a soft landing and keen on avoiding a recession. So that's what we have to watch out for. Crude oil has dropped significantly since its peak towards the end of September. Crude oil prices have been falling, but a major oil spill related to pipeline closure in US is giving a upward pressure, while China COVID and Russian oil price cap is putting a downward pressure. Not sure what will happen in the future. The past performance gives me hope that CPI would show further easing, and that will be both good for the inflation as well as the markets. But also, in a way, it will be bad because some would fear recession. This is how Stephanie Lang, Chief Investment Officer at Homrich Berg, put it. It's our expectation that we really need to see inflation come down closer to the Fed fund rate for the Fed to pause. And we still have quite a bit of delta between those numbers, she said. There's still a bit of work to be done on inflation front to really see that as a reality. So what it basically means is that our inflation rate is not close to the Fed target, and until we reach close to the Fed target, Fed will have to keep on raising interest rate. But at the same time, the Fed would be concerned about pushing us into a recession, and they would be keen to get us into a soft landing. Therefore, smaller increases over a longer period of time is what is on the cards. That's what I read between those lines. Now let's get into the TradingView platform for some analysis. Well, friends, here we are in the TradingView platform looking at the Nasdaq futures. Each of these candles is a one-day candle, and we are on a bull channel out here within a bearish context. So if I was to zoom out, you would see that we still are within the larger bear channel bounded by this red line of resistance on the top and the green line of resistance on the bottom. It seems that we are kind of moderating within this bear channel so that it becomes easier for us to break out of this bear channel. I think my dreams of a Christmas rally has been, or Santa Claus rally has been dashed because I don't see how we are going to break through this diagonal line of support. We have only up to here to bounce back from. We'll wait and see what happens. The CPI may hold the key to it, but at this point of time, it's not looking great. It looks like a bear rally. Which is likely to fizzle out. Let's look at the indicators. US oil has been falling steadily along this bear channel, which is very good for us overall. If you look at QQQ, we are still on a bull channel, but we have been consolidating in the last week. So we are trying to gather some kind of momentum. And because we are in the upward swinging direction out here, I suspect that we are going to find it much more easier to break upwards rather than fall back downwards. So I'm hopeful that we are going to break through the resistance of 286.35 going forward. But again, we need to have a favorable CPI reading, and again, it can go both ways, right? If the CPI shows that the inflation has moderated, there'll be a section of investors who would start worrying about recession, and that fear could push down the markets. So we'll have to see how it plays out. At this point of time, I don't know how it's going to go. Next, let us look at S&P 500. We are still within the massive bear channel, and we are having a bear rally, which kind of touched the resistance out here and then started falling down. And in the process, it has broken through the bull channel that we had within the bear rally context. We are likely to find support through this thick blue line out here, which indicates a 100-day simple moving average. That's our support at this point of time. If we fall through that, then we come down all the way to the 50-day simple moving average, which is out here. And it's sitting somewhere around 384.20. So that's the support available next. Now let's go on to Russell Index. Russell Index was down 1.23% on Friday. It has broken down below the bull channel that we had before, which was this diagonal green line. And right now it's being supported by the 50-day simple moving average. And if we fall down below that, then we have a minor line of support, which is out here at 176.65. So that's going to be our next support. Next, let's look at Dow Jones Industrial Average. And if you look at Dow Jones, it was down 0.91% on Friday. It's very evident that we have fallen below this bull channel out here, which we had before. And we have been consolidating in the last 2 to 3 days. I think we'll definitely bounce off this line of support out here, which is the diagonal green line of support. Now let's look at the VIX. VIX has been consistently coming down, but it has taken a turn towards the upward side. And if you look at past performance, right, we are seeing that there was a bounce back from 19.36 somewhere on 11th of August, after which VIX kept on moving upward, and then it came down. It started coming down only after 12th of October. So we now have a turnaround, turn in the trend. I'm hoping that we are able to be pushed down from here, which is from this line of resistance, which is at 22.73. Because if we were to zoom in, you will see that 22.73 has been giving a very, very good resistance to us out here. And that's what gives me the hope that potentially we might bounce back from there. But immediately we get support from the 10-day simple moving average at 21.43, and also from the minor line of support, which is out here at around 21.40. So it's a very, very strong support out here. So it seems to me that VIX is likely to bounce back up again. We'll see what happens. US dollar index has been falling down consistently, but one of the simple moving average that has given it tremendous support over the last whole week is the 200-day simple moving average, which is this thick white line. It has supported it on more than 1, 2, 3 occasions. So I'm hoping that we are able to break down below this, because a lower US dollar index means more funds can go into the equity market and other markets and bring us up. Now I'm going to look at quickly at the the index movers in technology like Microsoft, which has got a huge gap up which it has to cover, so it needs to come down again and fill it up, but it's got very strong support here, which is going to be at 238.81, which is also coupled with the 50-day simple moving average, which 238.71. So both are a confluence out here, so they'll give a strong support. MACD is bearish and momentum is just above average. So I'm hoping for the best out here, but I don't know what's going to happen. Apple also has a gap fill that it has got to take care of, and we have been having resistance from 142.27 on Friday. So we need to break through beyond this, and then our next resistance is going to be 146.58, and our next support is going to be at 137.41. That said, let's look at Amazon, which was down 1.39% on Friday, and it has been consolidating a little bit in the last 4 days. I'm hoping for the best out here because MACD is green, which is bullish, but momentum is still lacking. Let's see what happens out there. It has already filled the gap that it had here, so now it's all set to go up. Google was down 0.94% on Friday, and it's been consistently falling for the last 4 days, and in the process it converted a support at 95.74 into a resistance. MACD is still bearish and momentum is also below average, so not much hope out here. So overall, I'm not sure whether the index movers are going to support an upward move. Again, everything depends on the CPI, how it comes and how the market interprets it. In terms of commodity, wheat is coming down, but it's still on this bullish channel. I'd be very happy if it can break through this bullish channel and start coming down below it. Then that'll be good for the overall economy. Copper has been going down on Friday. It went down minus 0.63%, and it still got support from this diagonal line of resistance from a previous bear channel. I'm just going to mark this green to show that it's a support, and I'm also going to make it a bit thicker so that smaller devices can still display it properly. So I'm expecting more or less expecting copper to bounce off this diagonal line of support. That said, now let's go and have a quick look at genomics. The biggest gainer was DNA, but I'm still dubious about DNA stock at this point of time because there has been a whole lot of takeover happening, and we have still not seen the synergies getting into the bottom line out there. Plus there has been a IPO issue, and also there is a lot of insider selling. So I would be very careful. I was planning to buy at 1.74. If I had bought it, I would have made some profits, but I didn't buy, and I'm a bit hesitant at this point of time. There are a lot of headwinds for DNA to go up. It's got resistance from the 10-day simple moving average. It's also got resistance from the horizontal line of resistance at 1.82. So let us see what happens with it. Then next, looking at Intelia. Intelia was down 1.07% on Friday. Chart is still looking weak. If I was to look at Verve was down 2.08%. Chart is still looking weak, but it needs to go and do this gap fill out here. MACD is bullish, but the momentum is weak. That needs to pick up. Illumina was down 2.23% on Friday, and it's got a resistance now at 208.37 because it broke through that support and fell below. Really a bit disappointed with the performance of Illumina here. The chart is also looking weak. Allogene was down 2.48% on Friday, and it has been consistently getting support from this minor line of support in the last 4 days. So I'm hoping that it could break through and move up, and it will get a resistance from the 10-day simple moving average. It's sitting at 9.32. MACD is bearish and momentum is also below average. So the chances of us breaking down below this minor line of support is more than the chances of us going up. But again, if the CPI comes out well and the market reacts well, anything is possible. That said, CRISPR Therapeutics is down 2.90% as of Friday, and it's converted our support, which was at 50.83 into a resistance now, and now the next support that it has got is going to be at 47.93, and it's got a minor resistance somewhere around 49.38. I'm going to mark that as red. So that said, let's go on to Caribou Biosciences, which was down it was down 3% as of Friday, and it's been creating some kind of a flag out here, but since it's on a ascending pattern, I'm hoping for a breakout on the upside rather than the downside. So I'm hoping that we are going to break through 9.37, especially if the CPI comes out favorable and the market reacts favorably. Otherwise, we still are going to get support from the 200-day simple moving average at 8.84, which is going to be difficult to break down below, but if we did, then we have support at 8.25. Bluebird is down 4.65% as of Friday, but I can still see that it has got a bull channel out here. If I just expand this out here, I can show you that we still have a bull channel case that can be made, which can go this way, so there's plenty of hope. So I'm thinking that it should not go below 7.19. Invitae was down 4.56%, 4.86% as of Friday. Momentum is very weak. MACD is also weak. It has got support which is at 2.15, and it has got resistance which is at 2.56. Invitae was down 4.86% on Friday. It's got support at 2.15, and it has got resistance at 2.56. SQZ Biotech was down 4.92% as of Friday, and it's been continuously falling for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Had a little bit of a reprieve in between, and it's the 6th day of decline. MACD is very weak, and momentum is also absolutely at the rock bottom, so there is going to be a dead cat bounce and a turnaround for SQZ Biotech. Editas was down 5.31% as of Friday, and it's converted our support, which was at 9.65, into a resistance. MACD is weak. Momentum is also weak. Further losses in store. Again, CPI will determine what happens. Beam Therapeutics was down 5.57% as of Friday, and in the process it went below the minor line of support, which was at 43.94, and it has now become a minor line of resistance. I have thickened the line so that you can see it in your smaller devices. MACD is bearish, and momentum is also below average. Nothing much to hope here. IMTX was down 8.10% on Friday, a very, very big drop. I don't see any news in here, but I'll check out and let you know. If there is any news, I'll make a separate video on that, and I'll let you know about it. PSCB was down 8.34% as of Friday. So friends, that's all I have for you for now. It's a bit tricky because, as I said, the CPI is due on Tuesday, and I think on Wednesday the Feds will have a meeting and they will talk about it. So a lot of catalysts to come there. I'm thinking that even if the CPI shows moderation of the inflation, if it's a big drop, then the market is likely to get spooked that we are going to enter recession, and that can push down the market. But if it's a mild drop, then again the market participants can say that Fed is going to have to be more aggressive for a longer period of time, so that could push it down. So everything depends on the market. If the market decides that a fall in the CPI is a good thing, and they don't worry about recession, then we can see reversal out here and gains for most of the stocks that we spoke about. I'm not sure how the market is going to react, so I would like to leave the video out here. So that's all from me for today. Friends, later on in this week, I'll be having more videos coming, specifically on genomic companies. In our watch list, I'll have something on some of the companies that we have here which are making news. I'll also have one video about diabetes and one video about HIV breakthrough, about how HIV becomes dormant, and after that I'll have one more video on HIV next week, which is going to be about the mRNA vaccines that are coming in, which are going into which are in clinical trials right now with FDA. So all those things are in store for this week and the next, so please keep watching. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.